Good afternoon to you. Today on Afternoon Tea, I have Solomon Wesley Sua. Solomon is the founder or the CEO of Cybersecurity PNG Limited. Solomon, thank you so much for joining us on Afternoon Tea.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's good to be back on the show. Did a couple on the tech show.
Tech show, yes.
It's going to be the first one on Extra, PNG Extra, so thank you.
Our pleasure to have you. So today, Solomon and I will talk about the ethical hacking. But before that, I'll just let Solomon to briefly tell us about what Cybersecurity PNG Limited is about and, yes, what it's specialized in.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, viewers. Cybersecurity PNG Limited is a cybersecurity, cyber defense, cyber forensics, and cyber intelligence company. And we are first pioneer locally owned company doing all facets of cyber in the domains of, as I said, security as well as defense, forensics, and intelligence.
Thank you, Solomon. So now to our topic of discussion today, ethical hacking. Tell me, what is ethical hacking and ethical hacking, and if it's easy or difficult?
Thank you, Jacqueline. Ethical hacking is taken from the broader concept of hacking into computer systems, and it's into what we call a cyber ecosystem that consists of computers, laptops, mobile phones, both digital as well as physical cyber infrastructure. So hacking is basically unauthorized person hacking into a system to steal information. That is the broader in ethical, but in the hacking, but in the ethical sense, it's like a good person doing something good for a company, like finding out what are the loopholes and is doing for the aim of defending the system. So as soon as they find out the loopholes and breaches and gaps in the digital ecosystem, then they advise the owner of those systems to patch them up. So ethical is the good side. The bad side is unethical. It's like breaking into systems to steal information, steal money and all that. So that's the bad side. On the question of is it hard or easy, it's pretty hard, because it needs a lot of technical expertise and tools to do that. So it's quite hard. It needs a lot of technical what to do actually the hacking. But on the ethical hacking, it is also hard. So the principles are the same. The steps that either a bad or a good guy, they're still hackers. They do is the same, but one is a bad guy trying to steal something. The other one is a good guy trying to advise the custodian of those cyber assets to defend them, because they already find the loopholes, so they'll tell them to block it. So it's not easy, but it's a challenging and task to actually carry out hacking.
Yeah. Okay, so Solomon, right now, have you guys done any ethical hacking for any company or organization already in PNG?
The concept is pretty new to PNG, so most of the customers, they don't know if they do need the service, meaning that they don't know if they have any loopholes or any gaps. So it's like at the moment we are educating them, but we do provide that services, and some of these things we do are highly confidential, so we cannot share on with the public. It needs consent and that, but the answer to the question, yes, we are actually involved in some of this, but we cannot disclose who are our clients and all that.
That's understandable. So is there any hacking or ethical hacking schools in PNG or in other countries that, any interested individual who want to take up that cause?
In PNG, unfortunately, there's no school that is in PNG that is teaching the cybersecurity. Reason being, number one, is that it's a very new area or domain of information and information security. So we need a lot of catch up to do. Both at so when you go to schools, they offer other courses like IT, general IT, and all that, but there's nothing on cybersecurity. So, but overseas, yes, there are courses there, but online. But those courses that needs a lot of technical skills and all that, that's not in PNG. You can get it overseas.
So ethical hacking, is it legal or illegal?
Ethical, the word is ethical, so meaning
It's
that
good.
it is good, but the difference between ethical and unethical is the ethical is that you have the consent of the owner of a system. Let's say if we want to do something for NBC, then the authorization must come from the management saying that we actually allow you. So then I'll be go out there and try to crack into the NBC system to steal probably your email password or your the CEO's the memos that he's writing out. Probably he might have a meeting tomorrow, so I want to know what is happening. So if I can successfully get that letter, then I know what the CEO will be discussing. So that's the kind of thing. But then that's the bad side. The good side is the CEO might say, look, you need to see if there's somebody infiltrating our system and taking all our information out. That's the time when we come in and say, okay, look, we will find out if there's something. So we check around and see if there's any loophole that we can pull out something. So it has to be consent-based. The customer has to give us authorization to actually crack the system. And at the end of the day, we present the findings that, look, these are the things that are open, so you need to patch them up and fix it. So it has to be a consent-based. That's on the ethical hacking. Unethical, the bad guys don't need consent.
They just go
come
in.
in and crack and do anything. So
Yes.
that is legal in the sense that there has to be an agreement that the owner of the asset will say that we agree, or the cyber infrastructure will say we agree, so you can try to do your ethical hacking. So one of the common one they normally do is what they call penetration testing. They want to see if there's any gaps that they can steal information out. So it is legal. So legal in the sense that it's ethical and there's to
Yes.
be a consent.
So Solomon, we have almost come to the end of our interview today, but from our discussion today, what if someone is watching right now, so what will he or she grab out of our interview today on ethical hacking?
One of the first thing they can pick up is that like a CEO is watching, or one of our custodians of like critical infrastructures like the airports, our PNG power, PNG water, all this critical infrastructure was watching. The key takeaway is that you don't know if you're already being infiltrated, like someone is spying on your emails, the letters you're writing, the meetings you're having. Someone may have already got a copy of that and you wouldn't know. So the only thing is that talk to us cybersecurity companies and we can do what they call ethical hacking or penetration testing to see if there's no loophole and whatever information there is not going out. So that's the first thing that they do. Number two is they have to do what they call a workplace training. So they have to train all the workers to know what is cybersecurity at a nutshell. Because some of these, they don't know what IT is, what cybersecurity is. So they do what we call cybersecurity awareness training. That's the first thing they do, and then they can upskill their users. So, for instance, one example would be if there's an email coming in, when to click and when not to click. These are kind of trainings that then it takes. So one is they have to engage our cybersecurity companies to do what they call ethical hacking penetration testing to see if there's any loophole. And two is that they must train their users on basics of cybersecurity and how to defend, because the first link in every organization is the employee or the worker, the non-IT guy, probably from accounts, from HR. So these are the guys that are loopholes right now. So what they do is when the bad guys want to come in, they're always targeting our unlearned, non-tech technical guys like other departments apart from IT and information security. So these non-IT users, they need to be trained not in advanced courses, but in the basics of cybersecurity, do cyber awareness and how to do cyber housekeeping, we call it, within the office, what to do. You want to put your password, somebody need to see you, or do you put your password on a stick-on pad on your screen, or all these kind of small trainings. These are the key, because all across the world, about 90% or so of cyber attacks, the entry point is the employees. Someone who doesn't know anything about IT is always the weak link.
Yes.
So that's the number two thing that they must do, training, awareness, and on cybersecurity. So that's what cybersecurity PNG we are doing, providing all these basic trainings, just to make sure that somebody know what cybersecurity is, and to defend their company assets and all this. That's very critical. So these are the two things that for the takeaway for our today's,
from our discussion today. Well, thank you, Solomon, for your time with us. And yes, viewers, we're going to have Solomon on our tech regular on every Tuesday. So if you want to know more about what he's going to talk about or share with us on Afternoon Tea, yes, you do tune in on every Tuesday for that. So our discussion for next week will be on cyber security and specifically cyber kill chain. So before we go, I'll just let Solomon to briefly outline or give us a hint on what he'll be discussing with us on cyber kill chain next week. Solomon.
Thank you, Jacqueline. For next week, the topic will be on cyber kill chain, and cyber kill chain is the kill chain is a military term. It's taken from a military concept where before they target someone, they need to do a chain of events for the entire like wars that are happening and all that. So they normally follow a chain. So if we break the chain, then we can disrupt them. That's the same idea on cyber kill chain. We will understand the 7 steps that a bad or a good guy must take to go and infiltrate or crack into a system. So we'll just follow through the 7 steps and see where they come, and then viewers and those that are interested will know, at least have an idea that this is how the bad guys normally come in and steal the information. We hear so many of cyber attacks happening. Some are paying so much money on ransomware and all that stuff. Next week we go through the steps, the 7 steps that the bad guys and also the ethical hackers that follow to do the. So at least the country and audience or viewers will have an understanding of how the things done. So there are actually 7 steps that we will go through. It's called a cyber kill chain.
Well, thank you, Solomon. And of course, we are looking forward to discuss with you the cyber kill chain next week, Tuesday. And once again, thank you for your time on Afternoon Tea.
My pleasure, and thank you for having me on the show.